Noise like that is about to be the subject of a showdown as residents on both sides of the Ohio River say they've heard enough. Good evening, everyone. That noise you just heard comes from the Cincinnati Barge and Rail Terminal. It's in the East End. And tomorrow morning, the battle lines will be drawn at the City Planning Commission.
When many of the residents who live in that area moved there, that type of river rail business was dormant. Now it's giving headaches to taxpayers in 2 states. Local 12's Brad Underwood is live along the river with what could be a compromise from the residents. Brad.
Well, good evening, Robin. When those residents moved into these brand new condos back in 2005, 2006, there was a clear vision of what the riverfront could look like here in the East End. More residential area, retail, as some commercial development as well. That didn't really happen. What did happen is that across the street, bulk transfer from barges to trains picked back up again in 2010. Now residents say they're done with all this noise. It's a sound like that and another like this that have homeowners in the East End fed up.
It really drives you off your decks. You can't sit on the decks when they're out here. You can't carry on a conversation with a neighbor. And you can actually hear the noise when you're sitting inside your unit.
Mark Walker and Tom Wilson both live off of Riverside Drive across the street from the Cincinnati Barge and Rail Terminal.
It is really upsetting. The noise is explosive.
The noise is coming from the terminal as steel coils, various metals, and sometimes lumber are offloaded from a barge and transferred to a train. It's also disturbing people across the river in Kentucky to the point they've put up a big sign.
You get used to barge traffic, you get used to the noises on the river. That's something that you live with, but it's tolerable. This noise across the river is absolutely intolerable. Residents have even gone as far as contracting noise studies to prove it's illegally loud. According to Walker, the terminal is at least 25 decibels over the city limit.
The motorcycles like to ride on the truck routes and very loud boats like to ride on the river, but they're singling out our noise. We operate about 35% of the time with the bulk operation presently.
Jeff Stewart owns the terminal. Stewart says before they began transferring materials from the river to the rail, they did sound studies and even spent almost $100,000 to cut down the noise projecting into the neighborhood.
Protective coatings on the hoppers, putting rubber on our sound wall, covering the conveyors, and adopted a soft loading plan.
But residents say it's not enough. They not only want the noise gone, but they want the terminal gone too. Now, not necessarily all the neighbors that we spoke with want the business shut down and out of the area. They just want the noise to go away. Can it happen? Will it happen? Well, we're not sure at this point. Who knows? The Planning Commission has several options here, from shutting the business down to doing nothing, or they can adjust and amend some of the zoning permits. Live in the East End, Brad Underwood, Local 12 News.
Brad, thanks very much. The Planning Commission meeting is open to the public and starts at 9 a.m. at the Centennial Plaza on Central Avenue. We'll have it covered for you and bring you the outcome tomorrow on Local 12 News.